How's it going, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys episode number 8 in my entire DVD and Blu-ray collection. This is where we walk through my entire collection and I show you guys each and every release that I have picked up over the years. For episode 8, we're going to start off with a little Fangoria Presents. First up, we have Inhuman Resources. Fangoria kind of did this thing where they released 5 films in volume format. Volume 1 was the first 5. I guess they thought if we do a Volume 2, then we could do another 5, but they only did the first 5, I believe. They did release some other stuff, but they kind of dropped the Fangoria Presents like comic book style gimmick. This was the first film in the series, Inhuman Resources, and this one was pretty cool. It's kind of that contained subgenre that I love so much with films like Saw. But, you know, even Cube, which was probably the first one that I seen where I kind of gained my love for the contained subgenre. You have a small group of characters in a singular location with some kind of threat that they can't escape from. I just love that concept. It works really well. And Inhuman Resources is a pretty solid one. Definitely the best one in the Fangoria Presents line, but it still has some plot holes and it's not the greatest film in the world, but it's definitely pretty good. Second from that Fangoria Presents line, we have Axed. This one was really awful. It was like a British film. Don't really remember much about it except for very annoying characters, ridiculous plot, just overall not a good movie, very annoying characters. I remember we really didn't like this one too much. After that we have Fangoria Presents Sin Reaper. This one was kind of one that had a little bit of potential, has Lance Henriksen in it. But overall it was just kind of a failure. It kind of had a cool slasher killer and just did nothing with it. You know, wasted opportunity. I think this one was supposed to be in 3D, so it kind of even looks more stupid. Not really a fan at all. After that we have really the only other okay one in the line, and this was the 4th one, and that is Germ Z. And this one is a zombie film. It's below average in my opinion, but it's not the worst in the world, especially when you're dealing with these Fangoria Presents films. This was definitely the second best. Moods actually liked this one quite a bit, but to me it was just, you know, average or slightly below average. This is the only one that does not have like the comic book style to it, which I found really annoying. And I know that there is an edition that does have the comic book style, but for some reason I got the one without it, so it kind of really screws up my line here. And finally, for the Fangoria Presents line, we have number 5, and that is Entity. This was god-awful. One of the worst films I've ever seen. Just terrible found footage film. Honestly, it is almost embarrassing that Fangoria even put this out, because it is misleading. It is, you know, shady business. It is just the bottom of the barrel stuff. When you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, you'll find stuff like Entity. And Fangoria, you know, for such a, you know, well-established company in the horror world, in the horror industry, to put this out is just really not cool. To expect people to actually pay for this is just not very nice. So, Entity, awful, awful, awful. After that, we have Fantastic Flesh, The Art of Makeup Effects. This was pretty cool. You got a lot of people in here. Tarantino, Romero, Josh Brolin, Greg Nicotero, John Carpenter, Simon Pegg, Eli Roth, Robert Rodriguez, Tom Savini, Wes Craven, John Landis, Mick Garris, Dick Smith, plenty of other people, and they're all there to talk about the impact that practical effects had on the genre and the importance of practical effects. It's kind of short. It was made for the Starz Network. It's only an hour long. They barely scratched the surface of the topic. So I really would like to see a follow-up to this, or, you know, another documentary on makeup effects artists, because it's really interesting and we as horror fans love the practical effects. So really cool stuff here, although a little short. After that, we have a 4-movie pack here. We have The Fear, which is the only one I've watched out of this pack, and it's it's about this like wooden mannequin type doll. It's weird. It's an oddball 90s movie. You know, thinking back on it, I kind of liked it. It's definitely not a good movie, but it kind of has that so bad it's good, or just so out there that you kind of just found it funny and likable. And then the Fear Halloween Night, which I haven't seen yet, and Grimm, which I haven't seen yet, and the last one in the set here is Killer Tongue, which actually features Robert Englund. So I would like to actually check out the films in this pack because it is a cool little pack here, and I've only seen one of them, and it was pretty cool, but I definitely want to check out the other ones when I get the time. It's just I have so much on my plate right now that I'd never ventured back into that set. After that, we have Feast, which was really awesome. I believe this was the film that came from Project Greenlight, that reality show with filmmakers. Man, this was such a cool film. It really was. Like, it was fresh, it was original, cool concepts, great creature feature, a little over the top, kind of a siege narrative. It was just a really fun time. It's been a while since I checked it out, but I definitely recommend checking out Feast if you never have. I mean, it really is a cool film. So after that, we have Feast 2 from Dimension Extreme, and these films really went in a completely different direction after the first one. It still kind of has some of those elements, but it really is more over the top and ridiculous. Still kind of fun, but just, you know, not the same good quality movie that the first Feast was, but still entertaining enough. So Feast 2 Sloppy Seconds, not too bad. And after that, of course, you have to finish it up with Feast 3, The Happy Finish. You know, this one even got more ridiculous. I think Feast 2 and 3 are a nice like double feature because they're so the same. I can't really remember which one's better, but they're both kind of you know, they run really well together. They feel like one movie. So yeah, Feast 3. After that, we have The Feeding. This was a pretty bad werewolf movie. I remember, well, the one thing I remember about this is they kind of distort the camera in order to hide like the bad practical effects of the werewolf, or you know, they're trying to hide things just by putting like bad filters on the camera or something. I don't know. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I probably won't revisit it anytime soon. So that is The Feeding. After that, we have the Final Destination 4-pack. We have Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, and Final Destination 4, which is The Final Destination. Terrible title. This is a cool set here because it is a 4-pack, but each film is on its own disc, which I like very much. They're kind of all stacked on top of each other there. You know, I really like these films. We did a podcast on the original 5 films, and you know, they're a lot of fun. The first one is a little dated watching it now. The second one, of course, is my favorite, and the third one I liked a little bit more than I thought I did. And the fourth one is just awful, but the fifth one's good. So that's the Final Destination 4 film set. After that, we have a film from Wild Eye, and that is Final Entries. This is a bona fide ghostly right here. Does not look good at all. That's why I still haven't cracked it open and watched it. You know, one day I will, because I've recently watched a couple Wild Eyes and they were both good. So, you know, it kind of got me interested to check out some more, and I have a bunch of them. So this is one that I'll put at the lower end of the stack though, just because the cover looks, you know, just terrible. So that's Wild Eyes Final Entries. After that, we have The Fly 2. This one was pretty fun. You know, a lot of cool practical effects in this one. Not as good as Cronenberg's Fly, but definitely a interesting, fun 80s cheese sequel. And it actually has continuity with the first one. It's been a little while since I've watched this, but I did like it. I remembered liking The Fly 2 quite a bit. So, yeah, The Fly 2, definitely worth a watch and a pickup. After that, we have Frankenfish. This was a Big Lots pickup. Honestly, it's pretty good. I'm gonna be straight up. This looks awful, but it's not. It's actually a fun movie, and I was completely surprised by it. This was probably a made-for-sci-fi movie back when made-for-sci-fi movies weren't complete and utter garbage, back in like 2001 to 2005. So, yeah, I definitely recommend Frankenfish. You can find it at Big Lots for like $3. It's well worth a $3 price tag. Just a lot of fun. After that, we have Frankenstein. This is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein this is the De Niro one. I've only seen probably two like main adaptations of Frankenstein. One is the original Frankenstein, and two is this Frankenstein. So my Frankenstein knowledge is pretty limited, but I didn't hate this one. It was weird seeing De Niro as Frankenstein, though. It didn't really feel right, and I think a lot of people would agree. It was okay. After that, we have a classic here, and that's Todd Browning's Freaks. This is a great movie. I picked this up on one of Warner Brothers' sales for Black Friday for like $2. It was a great pickup. Just, 30s classic, 1932. Of course, from Todd Browning, who is, of course, made Dracula. Just an awesome film. Great ending. A lot of great social commentary for the time. Really ahead of its time. Great stuff here. After that, we have Freak Show Apocalypse. I've actually never cracked this open. It's from Chemical Burn, which I'm not a big fan of. It looks to be like maybe some sort of anthology or something. I don't know, just never got around to it. It's, this is one of those films that the only time I'll probably check this out is if I do a randomizer, meaning I'll just grab a bunch of titles that I haven't watched yet, throw it in a randomizer, and, watch whatever comes up. So, one day this will be watched via the randomizer. Until then, it's just going to chill in the collection. After that, we have Friday the 13th, the Uncut Edition. This was the deluxe edition. These were cool, man. I remember when these came out, I really liked them. They have the cool lenticular slipcover, new special features and stuff like that. Just a really cool release. I really liked, I think it was right when I started collecting these were coming out. So, I mean, I'd always collected, but like when I really got into it, these were coming out. So yeah, Friday the 13th Uncut Edition. Then we have Friday the 13th Part 2. It's not uncut, but it's also the deluxe edition. This is one of my favorite sequels in the franchise. I love Amy Steele. She's definitely one of my favorite final girls, and I love Baghead Jason, and this one is honestly, this is probably the scariest one out of the Friday the 13th films. I would probably say that, and it's definitely a classic horror movie, and it's one that I like to revisit quite a bit. Let me grab the last two here. They fell off the shelf. So yeah, next up we have Friday the 13th Part 3, which is the deluxe edition as well. This one is definitely not my favorite in the franchise, but I do like it. The 3D glasses, it comes with those. It is the 3D version, which I actually like that they released the 3D version. I did check it out in 3D a couple times, and I like it, man. It's fun. It gives you a headache afterwards, but it's fun to watch these old films in the red and green 3D. A lot of people hate it. I don't mind 3D that much. I think it has its place. Every couple of years it has a big cycle, which is cool to me. It's gimmicky, but it gets people to go check out movies and stuff, so I'm down with it as long as it's not, completely oversaturated like it was the last time the cycle came around. But Friday the 13th 3, it's a fun one. And then finally, for this part, we have Friday the 13th, the Final Chapter Deluxe Edition. This is actually the last of the single release deluxe editions I own. I was always bummed that I never finished off the set. I would have liked to have all the way up to Part 8 in these standalone releases, but then they announced that box set, and I just stopped collecting these and just grabbed the box set because it was limited, and I don't know. I really don't know why, but I would like to maybe one day get that Blu-ray set, because I just really want to see these films on Blu-ray. But I really do love these single releases here. I love the lenticular covers, and Friday the 13th Part 4 is definitely my favorite in the franchise. It's really good, and probably a lot of people's favorites. So that's it for this part, guys. See you guys next time. Peace out.